I'm standing in my kitchen, hands wrapped around a mug of chamomile tea that's gone cold, when I hear the car pull into the driveway. It's Saturday afternoon, and I wasn't expecting anyone. Through the window, I watch my parents' sedan come to a stop, and my stomach drops when I see who emerges from the back seat. My sister Lily. She's wearing a loose dress that does nothing to hide the prominent swell of her belly. 7 months along, if I had to guess. Behind her, mom and dad climb out, their faces set in that familiar expression of grim determination that I've seen too many times before. I know this look. It's the same one they wore when they needed me to co-sign Lily's car loan 3 years ago. The same one when they asked me to pay for her community college classes that she never finished. The same one when they expected me to host her 25th birthday party at my house because their place was too small. I set down my mug and walk to the front door, opening it before they can knock. Lily pushes past me without a word, her hand resting on her belly in that performative way pregnant women do when they want you to notice. Mom and Dad follow, their eyes avoiding mine. "We need to talk," Dad says. I close the door and turn to face them. Lily has already made herself comfortable on my couch, shoes kicked off, feet up on my coffee table. She's always treated my space like her personal resort. "About what?" I ask, though I already know this won't be good. "About your responsibilities," Mom says, settling into the armchair. Her voice has that edge to it, the one that signals she's already decided I'm in the wrong. I remain standing, arms crossed. "My responsibilities?" "To family," Dad adds. He stays by the door like he's blocking my escape route. Lily shifts on the couch, one hand still cradling her stomach. "I'm pregnant, as you can see, and I need help." "Congratulations," I say flatly. "What does that have to do with me?" Mom's face flushes. "Don't be cruel, Sarah. Your sister is in a difficult situation." "Is she?" I look directly at Lily. "Where's the father?" Lily's eyes well up with tears on cue. She's always been good at this, the instant waterworks that make everyone rush to comfort her. "He wants to help, but it's not enough. I need more support. We're family. You should want to help me." "How much support does he want to give you?" I ask. "That's not the point," Lily snaps, her tears drying remarkably fast. "The point is, I'm going to be a mother and I need my family to step up." I look at my parents. "You're both here. You're her family. What exactly are you expecting from me?" Dad clears his throat. "Your sister needs financial assistance. For medical bills, baby supplies, living expenses. You have a good job, a stable income. You're in a position to help." There it is. The real reason for this ambush. I've been the responsible one my entire life. I went to college on scholarships and worked 2 jobs to pay for what the scholarships didn't cover. I've been at the same company for 8 years, steadily climbing from entry level to management. I bought this house at 28, paid off my car, maxed out my retirement contributions, and I did it all while watching my parents shower Lily with everything she wanted. Dance classes, pageant fees, a brand new car for her 16th birthday while I drove our mom's old sedan. They paid her rent through her early 20s while she found herself. They covered her credit card debt not once, but 3 times. I worked hard for my stability. I say carefully, I made sacrifices. I planned. "And now you can help your sister who needs you," Mom says. Family takes care of family. The irony isn't lost on me. Family takes care of family, except when I needed help with my student loans. When I was struggling to save up a down payment, when I asked them to help me move into this house and they were too busy helping Lily redecorate her apartment. "How much?" I ask. Lily sits up straighter and I see calculation flash across her face. $3,000 a month. I actually laugh. $3,000 a month. Until the baby is at least a year old, Lily adds quickly. Maybe longer, depending on childcare costs. "That's $36,000, I say. "At minimum. You can afford it," Dad says. "We've seen your house, your car, you're doing well. Because I budget, because I save, because I don't spend money I don't have on things I don't need." Mom stands up, her face hardening. "This is about a baby, your niece or nephew. How can you be so selfish?" The word hits me like a slap. Selfish. I've heard it my whole life, every time I dared to prioritize myself over Lily's wants. Selfish for spending money on my own textbooks instead of buying Lily concert tickets. Selfish for moving across town for a better job instead of staying close to help Lily with her errands. Selfish for taking a vacation instead of giving Lily the money to invest in her friend's boutique that went bankrupt in 6 months. I want to see something, I say suddenly. Lily, can I see your phone? She blinks, genuinely surprised. What? Why? Just curious about the father. You said he wants to help, but it's not enough. I want to understand the situation better. That's private, Lily says, clutching her phone to her chest. If you're asking me for $3,000 a month, I think I deserve to know what I'm getting into. Mom moves toward me. Sarah, this is inappropriate. Your sister's relationship is none of your business. Then neither is my bank account. The room goes silent. Dad shifts uncomfortably. Lily's jaw tightens, and I see something flash in her eyes that I've seen 1,000 times before. Anger at being challenged, panic at losing control of the narrative. I'll show you, she says finally, unlocking her phone. But her hands are shaking slightly, and she's scrolling too fast, like she's trying to find something specific or hide something she doesn't want me to see. Actually, I say, I already know. Everyone freezes. I walk to my kitchen counter and pick up my tablet. I've spent the last week doing something I probably shouldn't have done, but my gut told me this confrontation was coming. I've been friends with Lily's boyfriend Marcus on social media for years. Last month, when I saw the pregnancy announcement, I noticed something off about Lily's subsequent posts. Comments that didn't quite match, a desperation in her tone. So I reached out to Marcus. Just a casual congratulations. How are you handling impending fatherhood? That sort of thing. He was surprisingly open. Mentioned how he'd already set up a savings account for the baby. How he'd offered Lily $1,200 a month in child support, plus covering all medical expenses and splitting the cost of necessities. $1,200, not chump change, not abandonment. A genuine, responsible offer from a man who wanted to do right by his child. And Lily told him it wasn't enough. Told him she needed more. Told him her family would make sure she was taken care of properly. I pull up the screenshots Marcus sent me, the text conversation between him and Lily where she demanded $2,500 a month or she'd make his life hell, where she calculated exactly how much she could squeeze from him and from me and from our parents. Lily has a very generous offer from Marcus, I say, turning the tablet so my parents can see. $1,200 a month, medical expenses, baby supplies. That's nearly $1,500 a month total, probably more, but apparently that's not enough. Dad takes the tablet, his face paling as he reads. Mom leans over his shoulder, her expression shifting from defensive to confused, to something that looks almost like betrayal. You told us he abandoned you, Mom whispers. He didn't abandon me, Lily says quickly, standing up. He's just not being realistic about what a baby costs. I need more than what he's offering. So you came to shake down your sister, I say. It's not shaking you down, it's family helping family. Except you're not asking for help, you're demanding it. There's a difference. Lily's face flushes red. You've always been like this, always so high and mighty, always so perfect. You think you're better than me because you have a good job and a house. But you're just lonely and bitter. The words are designed to hurt, and they do, but I've had 32 years to build up immunity to Lily's attacks. I'm not bitter, I say quietly. I'm just done being your ATM. Girls, Dad tries to interject, but neither of us are listening. You owe me, Lily says. And now her voice is rising. That spoiled child screech I remember from every fight we had growing up. I'm your sister. You're supposed to take care of me. Why? I ask. Why am I supposed to take care of you? Because that's what family does. Then where has my family been for the past decade? Where were you when I was working 60-hour weeks to make partner? Where were you when I was saving every penny for this house? Where were you when I asked for help and got told I was being dramatic? Mom sits back down heavily. Sarah, that's not fair. Isn't it? You've given Lily everything she's ever wanted. You paid her rent, her car payments, her credit cards. You co-signed loans I then had to pay off when she defaulted. You expected me to host her parties, drive her places, loan her money I never got back. And now you show up here demanding I give her $3,000 a month because she's pregnant? She's your sister, Dad says weakly, and I'm your daughter. Doesn't that count for something? The question hangs in the air. I can see the wheels turning in my parents' minds. The slow realization that maybe, just maybe, they've been unfair. But Lily isn't done. This is about Marcus. Isn't it? She says, her voice dripping with venom. You've always been jealous that I could get a man and you can't. You're alone because you're cold and selfish, and now you want to punish me for being happy. I should be angry. I should scream back. But instead, I feel something close to pity. I'm not jealous of you, Lily. I'm sad for you. Sad for me? She laughs, but it sounds hollow. I'm having a baby. I have a man who loves me. Do you? I pull up another screenshot, this one from a conversation Marcus had with a mutual friend, someone who didn't know I was watching. Because Marcus told Todd 3 weeks ago that he was trying to make things work with you for the baby's sake, but he's exhausted from your constant demands for more money. He said you told him you deserved a luxury lifestyle because you were carrying his child. Lily lunges for the tablet, but Dad pulls it away, his eyes scanning the screen. His face goes from pale to gray. Lily, he says slowly, is this true? Dad, I can explain. Did you tell Marcus you deserved a luxury lifestyle? Lily's mouth opens and closes. She looks at Mom, then at me, then back at Dad. I just meant that I should be comfortable, that he should provide properly. He offered to provide, I say. He offered reasonable, responsible support. You wanted more because you're not actually worried about the baby. You're worried about maintaining your lifestyle without having to work for it. That's not true, Lily says, but her voice cracks. Then why did you tell Marcus that our parents and I would make up the difference? Why did you calculate exactly how much you could extract from everyone? Why did you come here today demanding $3,000 a month when you already have a plan in place with the father of your child? Mom is crying now, quiet tears running down her face. Dad looks like he's aged 10 years in the last 10 minutes. We thought we were helping you, Mom says to Lily. We thought you needed us. I do need you, Lily insists, but she's backing toward the door now, her hand on her belly like a shield. I'm pregnant and scared, and I need my family. You need an ATM, I correct. There's a difference. Dad sets the tablet down on the coffee table. Lily, I think you should go home. We need to think about this. Are you serious? Lily's voice goes shrill. You're taking her side? I'm not taking sides, Dad says, but he sounds exhausted. I'm trying to understand what's happening here, and right now it looks like your sister has been more responsible and honest than you have. Lily stares at him, then at Mom, then at me. I see the moment she realizes she's lost this battle. Her face crumples, but this time the tears look real. Fine, she spits out. Fine, I don't need any of you. I'll figure it out myself. She grabs her purse and storms out, slamming my front door so hard a picture frame rattles on the wall. Mom stands to follow her, but Dad puts a hand on her arm. Let her go, he says quietly. She needs to cool down. Mom sinks back into the chair, her hands covering her face. How did we get here? I could answer that question. I could detail the years of enabling and favoritism, the constant message that Lily deserved special treatment while I was expected to be self-sufficient. I could explain how they taught her that manipulation and tears would always get her what she wanted. But looking at my parents now, broken and confused in my living room, I don't have the heart. I'm not trying to hurt her, I say instead. I'm trying to help her grow up. Dad nods slowly. We haven't been fair to you. It's not an apology, not really, but it's more than I've gotten in 32 years. No, I agree. You haven't. We thought we were protecting her, Mom says, looking up at me with red eyes. She always seemed so fragile, so in need of help. And you were always so capable. Being capable doesn't mean I didn't need support. It just means I learned not to ask for it. Mom flinches. Dad looks at his hands. Can we fix this? Mom asks. I don't know, I say honestly. But it starts with letting Lily face consequences. Real consequences. If she wants to be a mother, she needs to learn to be responsible. What do we do? Dad asks. You support Marcus's offer. You tell Lily it's reasonable and fair. You stop enabling her fantasy that the world owes her everything she wants. I pause. And maybe you start treating both your daughters equally. They leave 20 minutes later, promising to think about what I've said. I watch them drive away and feel a strange mix of emotions: relief, sadness, a tiny fragile hope that maybe things could actually change. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Marcus. Lily just called me screaming. Did something happen? I text back. Family meeting. She's upset. But I think things might start getting better. Thank you, he writes, for being honest with me about what was going on. I want to do right by my kid, but I can't let her bleed me dry. You're going to be a good dad, I reply. I set down my phone and look around my living room. My beautiful, hard-earned, peaceful living room. This space I created through years of work and sacrifice and careful planning. And for the first time in my life, I don't feel guilty about protecting it. 3 days later, Dad calls. He and Mom have had several long conversations with Lily. They've told her they support Marcus's offer but won't supplement it. They've suggested she might want to consider therapy to work through her expectations and behavior patterns. Lily, predictably, didn't take it well. But she's starting to realize no one is going to swoop in and save her from adult responsibilities anymore. She's angry with us, Dad says. With all of us. She'll get over it, I say. Or she won't. But either way, this is healthier than what we were doing before. I'm sorry, Sarah, Dad says, and this time it sounds like a real apology. For the years of putting you second, for expecting you to always be the strong one, for not seeing how much pressure we put on you. I feel my throat tighten. Thank you. Your mother and I want to help you, he continues. Not with money, necessarily, but with time, with presence. We want to know what's going on in your life. We want to be your parents, not just Lily's. I'd like that, I say quietly. 2 weeks later, Marcus comes to my house with flowers and a bottle of wine. A peace offering, he says, and a thank you. Lily and I are working things out. She's still demanding more than I think is reasonable, but we're compromising. And a lot of that is because you didn't let her get away with the guilt trip. How are you holding up? I ask, letting him in. Honestly, I'm terrified. But I'm also excited. I'm going to be a dad. He grins, and I can see the genuine joy beneath the stress. And Lily is starting to understand that being a parent means putting someone else first. That's growth, I say. It is, and I think having your parents step back is helping. She's actually started looking at her budget, talking about going back to work after maternity leave. She's even mentioned maybe going back to school. Good for her, I say, and I mean it. After Marcus leaves, I sit on my porch with a glass of that wine and watch the sunset. My phone has been quiet lately. Lily isn't speaking to me, which is probably for the best while we both process everything. Mom and Dad have called a few times, tentative conversations where we talk about things we've never discussed before. My childhood, their regrets, my hopes. It's uncomfortable and awkward and sometimes painful. But it's also real. For the first time in my life, I'm not playing a role in my family. I'm not the responsible one who fixes everything. I'm not the ATM or the safety net or the stable one who doesn't need anything. I'm just Sarah, flawed and human and allowed to have boundaries. My phone buzzes with a text from my friend Angela. Still on for dinner Thursday? Absolutely, I type back. My treat. Your treat? What's the occasion? I think about how to answer that. How do I explain that I'm celebrating setting boundaries? That I'm honoring the version of myself that finally learned to say no? Just feeling good about life, I finally write. And it's true. I am feeling good. Not happy in some fairy tale way where everything is perfect, but satisfied in a deep, real way that comes from finally standing up for yourself. I watch the last of the sunset fade and think about the future. Maybe Lily will change. Maybe she won't. Maybe my relationship with my parents will heal. Maybe it won't. Maybe Marcus and Lily will make it work. Maybe they won't. But none of that is my responsibility to fix anymore. I finish my wine and head inside, locking the door behind me. My house, my space, my peace, and nobody is taking that away from me again. 6 months later, I'm sitting in the hospital waiting room when I get the text. She's here, 7LB30Z, healthy, beautiful, thank you for everything. Marcus. There's a photo attached, a tiny red-faced baby with a shock of dark hair, wrapped in a pink blanket. My niece. I stare at the picture for a long time, feeling something shift in my chest. Love, yes, but also hope. Hope that this little girl will grow up in a healthier family than the one Lily and I had. Hope that Lily will rise to the challenge of motherhood. Hope that maybe, with time, my sister and I can build something better than what we had before. I text back. She's perfect. Congratulations. Then I add, let me know if you need anything. Real needs, not demands. I'm here. Marcus sends a thumbs up and a heart. 2 days later, Mom calls. We're at the hospital. Lily wants to see you. I almost say no. It would be easier, safer to maintain the distance. But I think about that little girl, my niece, and the kind of aunt I want to be. I'll be there in an hour, I say. When I walk into Lily's hospital room, she looks exhausted and scared and more real than I've seen her in years. The baby is sleeping in her arms, tiny and impossibly fragile. Hey, Lily says quietly. Hey? Do you want to hold her? I nod, and she carefully transfers the warm, sleeping bundle into my arms. The baby makes a small sound, and I feel my heart crack open in a way I wasn't expecting. Her name is Grace, Lily says. It's beautiful. We sit in silence for a moment, just the sound of the baby's breathing and the distant beep of hospital machines. I'm sorry, Lily finally says, for everything, for using you, for taking advantage, for being a terrible sister. I look up at her. Her eyes are red-rimmed and honest. I'm sorry too, I say, for not setting boundaries earlier, for letting the resentment build. Can we start over? She asks. Not forget everything, but maybe try to do better? I look down at baby Grace, at her perfect little face, at all the possibilities she represents. Yeah, I say. I think we can do that. It's not a fairy tale ending. It's not some magical moment where all the hurt disappears. But it's real, and it's honest, and it's a beginning. And sometimes, that's enough. As I drive home that evening, my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize, but I answer anyway. Sarah Chen? Yes? This is Catherine Rodriguez from Nexus Tech. We received your application for the senior director position, and we'd like to schedule an interview. I pull over, my hands suddenly shaking. I applied for that position 2 months ago on a whim, not really believing I had a shot. Yes, I say. Yes, I'm very interested. We schedule the interview for next week, and after we hang up, I sit in my car in some random parking lot and start to laugh. Not the bitter laugh of earlier months, but something genuine and full of surprise. My life isn't perfect, my family is still messy and complicated. There are no guarantees that Lily and I will actually manage to build a healthy relationship, or that my parents will continue their progress, or that everything will magically work out. But I'm okay with that now, because I've learned the most important lesson. I can't control anyone else. I can only control myself, my choices, my boundaries. And that's enough. I start my car and head home, already mentally planning what I'll wear to that interview. The sunset is painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, and I roll down my windows to feel the warm evening air. For years, I thought taking care of myself meant I was selfish. I thought boundaries meant I didn't love my family. I thought saying no made me a bad person. But now I understand that the opposite is true. The greatest gift I can give the people in my life is my own wholeness, my own strength, my own clear sense of self-worth. And the greatest gift I can give myself is permission to take up space, to have needs, to be more than just the reliable one who never asks for anything. I pull into my driveway and sit for a moment, looking at my house, my home, my sanctuary. And I smile, because this is just the beginning.